Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Today in this video, I would like to explain about rencana pelaksanaan pembelajaran, or in English, it's called lesson plan. Before we go to the material, let me introduce myself. My name is Suhendar. I'm from English Education Program of Universitas Galuh, Class 2C. Okay, the first material will be definitions of RPP, or lesson plan. RPP, or lesson plan, is a teacher's detailed description of the course of instruction or learning trajectory for a lesson. So RPP is the detailed description that teacher make for their learning activities. According to Kunandar, in 2011, the lesson plan, or RPP, is a plan that describes the procedure and organization of learning to achieve a basic competency set out in the content standards and outlined in the syllabus. Let's move to the next material. The next is components of RPP. Okay, the first material is subject identity. Subject identity including educational unit, class and semester, program or program expertise, subject matter or subject team, number of meetings. Okay, the next is competency standards. Competency standards are the minimum competency qualifications of students that describe the mastery of knowledge, attitudes, and skill achieved in each class and or semester in a subject. The next is basic competence. Basic competence is a number of abilities that students must master in certain subjects as a reference for preparing competency indicators in lesson. The next is competency achievement indicators. Competency indicators are behaviors that can be measured and or observed to show achievement of basic competencies, certain which is the reference for the assessment of the subject. The competency achievement indicator is formulated using verbs observable and measurable operation, which include knowledge, attitudes, and skills. Okay, the fifth is learning objective. Learning objectives describe the process and learning outcomes expected to be achieved by student according to basic competencies. It's like what the learning, what the learning will be about. Teaching materials. Teaching material contain relevant facts, concepts, principles, and procedures and are written in the form of points in accordance with the formulation of competency achievement indicator. The seventh is time allocation. The time allocation is determined according to the needs for achieving basic competency and learning load. The next is the eighth learning method. The learning method is used by the teacher to make the learning atmosphere and learning process happen so that students achieve basic competencies or a set of indicators that have been set. The selection of learning method is adjusted to the situation and condition of students as well as the characteristic of each indicators and competencies to be achieved in every lesson. In every subject. A thematic learning approach is used for participants students from grade 1 to grade 2. Okay, the next is learning activities. In learning activities, there are three components. The first is preliminary. Preliminary. I'm sorry. Preliminary is an initial activity in a learning meeting aimed at generating motivation and focusing the attention of students to actively participate in the learning process. The preliminary in Indonesia called pembukaan atau pendahuluan. It's mean sebelum melakukan pembelajaran, alangkah baiknya untuk melakukan pendahuluan terlebih dahulu. Misalkan kita menarik perhatian dari para siswa untuk lebih fokus kepada kita sebagai guru sebelum kita mengajarkan materi yang akan kita ajarkan pada hari itu. Okay, the next is core. The core activity is a learning process to achieve basic competencies. Learning activities are carried out interactively, inspiring, fun, challenging, motivating students to participate actively, and providing sufficient space for initiative, creative, and independence according to the talents, interests, and physical and psychological development of students. Oke, untuk bagian core ini berarti dimaksudkan bagian inti dari pembelajaran di mana kita mengajarkan materi yang harus dipahami oleh siswa pada hari itu. Dengan maksud learning activities are carried out. Nah, jadi pembelajarannya itu dilakukan dengan interaktif. Jadi ada keaktifan baik dari gurunya itu sendiri dengan menjelaskan, lalu ada keaktifan dari siswanya itu sendiri dengan menanya dan menjawab pertanyaan dari guru yang mengajarkan, lalu juga diselingi dengan games mungkin agar lebih membuat siswa itu tidak jenuh ketika melakukan pembelajaran. Okay, the next and the last part of learning activities is closing. Closing is an activities carried out to end learning activities that can be carried out in the form of summary or conclusion, assessment and reflection, feedback, and follow-up. Okay, closing it's mean penutupan, ya sudah pasti. Closing di sini berarti penutupan dari pembelajaran yang kita lakukan bisa dilakukan dengan memberikan kesimpulan atau rangkuman dari seluruh materi yang kita ajarkan agar si siswa itu mengingat kembali apa yang telah dia pelajari pada hari itu, karena ada beberapa siswa yang mungkin mudah lupa sehingga ketika pembelajaran selesai dia lupa dengan apa yang telah dia pelajari. Jadi alangkah lebih baiknya ketika setelah melakukan pembelajaran guru memberikan kembali penjelasan atau istilahnya kesimpulan atau ringkasan dari materi yang diajarkan pada hari itu agar si siswa itu mengingat kembali dan tidak lupa dengan apa yang dia pelajari pada hari itu. Selain itu, we can ask the student feedback about what the material that we have explained. Jadi kita meminta siswa untuk bertanya, misalkan setelah mempelajari materi tentang paragraph writing, misalkan tentang mungkin naratif teks, kita memberikan siswa kesempatan untuk bertanya agar kita tahu siswa itu mengerti atau tidak dengan materi yang telah kita ajarkan, seperti itu. Okay, the next or the 10th component of RPP is assessment of learning outcomes. The procedure and instrument for the assessment of the process and learning outcomes are adjusted to the indicators of competency achievement and refer to the assessment standard. Oke, assessment of learning outcomes. Berarti ini melakukan pengevaluasian pembelajaran yang telah kita lakukan. Misal di akhir minggu, misalkan di akhir semester kita melakukan UTS, melakukan UAS. Itu termasuknya ke dalam assessment of learning outcomes. Tapi sebelumnya biasanya kita guru biasanya melakukan ulangan harian, dan itu bisa menjadi modal kita untuk mengetahui apakah si siswa itu mengerti apa yang kita ajarkan atau tidak, seperti itu. Dan yang terakhir adalah learning resources. Determination of learning resources is based on competency standard and basic competency, as well as teaching material, learning activities, and indicator of competency achievement. Jadi learning resources ini sumber pembelajaran. Jadi kita harus tahu sumber dari pembelajaran, sumber apa yang harus kita ambil untuk memberikan penjelasan terhadap para siswa gitu. Misalkan bahasa Inggris, kita mengajarkan bahasa Inggris, learning resources-nya dari mana? Dari buku paket yang telah disediakan oleh pemerintah, atau mungkin dari buku yang telah kita beli sebelumnya gitu. Dan juga mungkin kalau bahasa Inggris kita bisa menggunakan kamus untuk lebih memperkaya vocabularies yang kita kuasai, dan juga bisa menggunakan Oxford Dictionary agar kita lebih menguasai lagi the right pronunciation. Okay. And the last is the example of learning of RPP. I can't explain the example because it should be open in laptop, but I use phone to explain this material because I don't have any laptop. So maybe that's all what I can explain to you. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.